Wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two-tone Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two-tone Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two-tone Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two-tone Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two-tone Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Quit your crying, cupcake, and get out there and get to work. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 795 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I want to say to everybody this morning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, Michael, we got Scoop today. We got a lot of things going on. We have a game tomorrow, and it won't be just another day and a half until we are just going to be looking at regular season ahead of us. A lot of things going on. Stick around, everybody. Good morning on the board. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to Cody. Good morning to Richard on the board. Love seeing everybody early. Richard says, good morning. No luck finding a W2 yesterday. Cody says, Tomlin said everyone but Aaron, TJ, Cam, and DK might start. Lots of things to go over today, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Great to see everybody.
Hell yeah.
How you doing today, Michael?
Oh, I'm doing great, my friend. I'm ready to rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, man. All kind of good stuff, guys. Let me just start with this. I do want to say, I honestly do not have any issue with this. And even if I'm with a group of my buddies, I got to be honest. I thought that there would have already been male cheerleaders in the NFL. I was surprised to find out whenever this controversy just came up in Minnesota because they have a couple of dudes. I mean, this is done in college all the time. What's the what am I missing?
I don't know. I do not know. Like, the original cheerleaders of the NFL were male cheerleaders, so they're going back to their roots. And like, I don't care. Like, when I watch football, I watch football. I don't care about the cheer stuff and any of that. Never have, never will.
I mean, the cheerleaders in the NFL, it's so minimal. I mean, some teams don't have them. Some teams never show them. Some teams do. To me, I just. I don't know. I just, again, if I think of myself like in a group of friends, and I still don't think that I would, I would be. I just don't get it. I don't understand what the problem is. Again, college football, there's 15 guys. It seems like on every cheerleading squad, they're holding girls up by their asses, which is a good thing. So again, I just don't understand. I don't understand what the controversy is at the moment. Maybe it's the Vikings. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what the deal is. Trying to figure that out, guys. again, I'm surprised that there aren't any already. I thought that this was already a thing, just because college, it's so popular. Um, I don't know. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome. Cody says, why are we playing starters now against Carolina? Yes, good question, and a lot more going on today, guys. Welcome back to the show. Great seeing everyone. Mike, let's get into it. Yes, it was announced, guys. Let's get into that since Cody did bring that up. All right, so what we know is this: no starters are going to be playing for Carolina, and all starters, basically, with the exception of the four names that we did say earlier, and we'll go over them again, will be playing Carolina's non-starters. So I guess I don't know what to make of it, Mike. I don't know what to make of it, but here goes all the starters, with the exception of, as Cody did say, or somebody said earlier here on the board. It was Cody. Cody says Aaron, TJ, Cam, and DK will not be playing. All the other starters will be playing, which I am excited about. I'm excited to see the starters play. I'm not sure why the four aren't. If I had to pick any four that I figured wouldn't, these would be the four that I would pick. So I can't say that I'm really surprised. I just don't understand the thought process behind it. Maybe we'll get some more scoop and insight on that as time goes. But again, Mike, I like it. We're going to get a chance to see our guys. Again, it's not against starters.
Yeah.
So, do what you want with that. But anyway, you slice it, guys. This time tomorrow, we're going to be getting ready for Steeler football. Thursday night football, everybody. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, the Steelers are traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers in game 3 of the preseason for the Steelers, guys. And then it's on like Donkey Kong. We got 2 weeks to get ready for the Jets, a little over 2 weeks, and then it's on. So it's here. A lot of interesting scoop we got going today. So let me jump on the board early, Mike, so we don't get behind. And then we're going to get into a lot of different things today. It's going to be a big one, guys. A lot of things going on in the NFL, or for our Pittsburgh Steelers, more specifically. Our Barley, my man, what's up, brother? He says, I don't care about male cheerleaders. This isn't male cheerleaders, though. This is dudes in female outfits shaking their ass. I don't know. I just again, that's all I assumed that they were doing in college. I never thought twice about it. I guess when I was a teenager, maybe in junior high, with friends, we might have made fun and things like this. But again, I just don't see this as a I don't understand what the big deal is.
Neither do I. Who cares?
If it was the Steelers, and then I could see, everybody in Pittsburgh being in an uproar and we'd be talking about it. But two dudes from Minnesota shaking their asses. I don't know. I think that's what I figured they would do up in Minnesota anyways with their purple uniforms. But I don't know. I don't know.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. The people that are like all up in arms about it, I don't know. Seek help, maybe. I don't know.
Again, I'm in it for football. I don't care if you got people dressed up like Big Bird up there. I don't care. So again, I don't know. I'll still try to figure it out. Maybe I'll figure it out, Mike. Kenneth says, hello, Kenneth. Always great to see you on the board, sir. Good morning to you. RB says, I don't want to see some skinny little twerp pretending to be a woman bending over, shaking his head. I got to be honest, me neither. That's a good point. I'm generally not into watching dudes shake their ass. I get that, I guess. I don't know. Corey says, so it looks like we're out on Gabe Davis. Is that, Mike, is that scoop? I don't know.
I haven't heard anything about that.
What do you know, Corey? I do know that he's visiting Buffalo. I do know that he went for his medical after he came here for the second visit. But that's all the scoop I know. If you have anything, brother, please share it with me. Good morning, Tortilla. Always great to see you on the board, sir. Cody says, it doesn't make any sense that like having our starters play against our fifth string players. And that was kind of a thing maybe I thought as well, because the announcement was made after Carolina made their announcement that they're not playing any starters. Maybe that's the mindset. Maybe they don't want to play starters. Maybe they want to go out and just get reps and put their starters in just to get some game time. And again, there's a lot of cutting, stopping, fast motions that you can't simulate on the practice field that I feel that it's necessary for guys to do so they don't go out and blow out their knees in week one. So I think this is a good thing to get the guys out there, get them active. And again, maybe that's the plan. You're not playing starters. Let's go out, get the reps. This is going to be a harmless get together. Let's do our final preparations and game time situations. We'll get back to practice next week and get ready for the Jets. Mike, I really think that it just feels like it's just a harmless situation. They're going to get the guys in, they're going to get their reps, and they're going to get them out of it.
And you notice like the guys that we're holding out, not that they're veterans, but they're like the four guys you really cannot afford to lose because there's not that great depth behind them. Aaron Rodgers, go from Aaron Rodgers to Mason Rudolph would be a drop-off. DK Metcalf to the rest of the receivers that we talked about yesterday, and like numerous times before, it'll be a big drop off. Losing TJ Watt when you're already out right now hurt. You have Highsmith and Herbig. That makes sense to hold him out. And Cam makes sense to hold him out too because you still have all those young guys back there. They're showing promise, but he's the only real quality starter that we know of for sure on that line. So it kind of makes sense to hold those four out so they don't get hurt and get put behind the 8 ball. The other guys go out there. It would suck to lose them, but you still have depth with Slay, with Ramsey, with Porter, and a couple other guys in the secondary. So it kind of makes sense to get them out there and see them all out there too, because we added who was it, Ardrich Pete as one of the interior guys who's been a Pro Bowler in this league. So there's depth in there behind some of those older vets that we're holding out. Makes sense to hold them out. For me, that would be the one thought process. Those positions we have depth, and we know what kind of guys those players are. We know they're going to produce in and out, or game in and game out. Excuse me.
Yeah, I do know this as well, Mike. The Steelers are also interested in the top free agent guard. Dalton Reiser was the former Viking, so they are still looking at depth pieces for the offensive line, which I think is a great idea. Because again, Mike, you have this young offensive line that's just trying to build cohesiveness, and if one of these guys drop, you're kind of in a situation. Yeah. So I'm all for going out and getting those depth pieces for the offensive line, because you don't want to be stuck in Game 3 of the season with no offensive line.
Yeah, because if we can get him, then you keep Ardrich Pete. Like Pete can play inside and out. Reiser can play inside. That's starter quality depth there, and pretty good quality depth as well. I'd be very okay with that.
Corey Beavers, what's up, my man? Always great seeing Corey. Corey says, I'm excited to see Mason throw to the ones. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot about this that's intriguing, guys. I think this is going to be, of course, the best, the funnest game to watch in the preseason so far. Getting all the starters with the exception of the 4. We'll talk more about those 4 as the show goes on. But yes, there's a lot to be excited about, guys, in this preseason game. I guess the one big negative would be you don't want to lose anybody to injury, which I guess has been the topic all along. But my argument has always been, you're playing football, fellas. You know what? If an injury happens, You don't want to see it. Of course, you don't want one of your guys to get injured. But it's not ballet. Let's go out there, do what we do. I mean, if we can't make it through a rep or through a set or through a drive, I don't know what kind of position are we in anyway. So let's get out there. We're playing against third stringers, second stringers more than likely. Get out there, get the reps, get the guys out of there, and get ready for New York, guys. That's when it gets real. Tortilla says Gabe probably wants to meet with the Bills or is still not healthy. I'm not real sure. I haven't heard any more scoop, guys. I do know that he was supposed to meet with he went to the doctor yesterday for his medical part of the interview process, and then he went to Buffalo. I think that's today. He's meeting with the Bills. So again, we don't know any scoop on Gabe Davis at the moment. We are keeping a close eye on it to get any information out when we do hear it. Cody says Mason is going to be thrown to the same people he's been thrown to. LOL. Mark Malone, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Mark Malone on the board. He says the homoeroticism is out of control at this point. Kenneth says playing starters is going to get them warm, but not playing too hard. Exactly. Exactly.
You figure that the ones will be going against guys who are fighting for jobs. They might be playing harder than the other teams of ones all through training camp or preseason that are just trying to get in and get out.
Still, Mike, these are even playing their hardest. They're the best they are as XFL players. So at the end of the day, I'm okay with that. Yeah, these guys aren't going to be playing professional football here within another week or so. So I'm okay with that, Mike. I understand what you're saying. It's a good point. But again, these guys, the top talent is probably XFL, and I got to be honest. You shouldn't be worried about playing guys in that particular league if you are in the NFL, in my opinion. Let's go to Mark Malone. He says too many cum guzzlers everywhere. Don't need that crap on the field. Mark, always keeping it colorful. I like colorful. RB says it's a cultural thing. It's promoting gay stuff. It's not about football or cheerleading. It's a push to the agenda. That's the issue. John, hey John, what's up, brother? Always great seeing John. John says Davis was just hired to be a male cheerleader. Gabe Davis just got a job to be a male cheerleader with the Buffalo Bills, guys. There it is. The scoop of the day. Tortilla says George Pickens is going to fight the cheerleaders in Dallas. He just might.
George Pickens fights everyone.
Yes. Imagine what the 49ers will come up with is the comment by Mark. Cody says, what about the O-line or safeties? O-line or safeties? RB, let's be real. Who's actually playing? Who wasn't? 2 safeties, 2 corners, 2 tight ends, 2 linebackers. Not too much is changing this week from the last 2. Tortilla says 49ers going to do drag shows on 3rd down. RB says Cam is holding himself out, isn't he? Yeah, that's an interesting thing. We're getting into Cam Hayward here shortly, guys. I have an opinion on that. Cody says, is Austin still injured? He jumps around. Question. You know what? He's out on the field now. He's participating. He was participating in individual practices earlier in this week. And supposedly, Mike, we're getting healthy. Alex Highsmith also, guys, was out on the practice field. So these are a couple good waves of good news.
Yeah.
Of course, Alex Highsmith out with the groin for a couple weeks now. He is back at practice. So, again, any way you slice it, guys, we are getting closer to being healthy. And we'll have about 17 days, I think, give or take, between these next 2 games to get healthy. So I don't have any problem there. Also, Will Howard, I just heard news that he's being okay to play in week 1, which is retarded. The guy's not going to play in week 1 or week 17 of this season. But Mike, now when preseason's over, he is given the go to play football. So that's unfortunate for him and for us. I wanted to see him play.
Yeah, I want to see him play too, but now he'll at least be able to practice, at least fully participate in practice.
Tortilla says, would you rather we don't play Ramsey as well? But I doubt he plays much at all, and we have depth if anything happens. I want to see them all, even if it's just a series, which, in some cases it might be. I know you're going to see other guys in there longer. You're going to see, I think, a decent handful of guys in there longer, but there are, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But there are guys that I do believe that you're only going to see for a short period of time, Mike. And it's going to be the people that you think it is when you're watching. I don't think there's going to be many surprises. There's going to be people that they want to see later on. They want to see down the stretch. They want to see, more of. But I think Jalen Ramsey guys like this, they're probably going to be kept to a minimum. Mike, get in, get their reps in, get them out of there. Of course, health is always on the minds of NFL football teams. Wes, what's up, man? Always great seeing Wes Hatchett on the board. Wes said is the first team offensive line playing for us. I believe so. Yes, everybody, with the exception of the 4 names. Mike, who was it? Aaron Rodgers, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, and
DK.
And DK. All right, so I'll take that.
Yeah, like the guys who have been injured a little bit, it's going to be how they progress in practice. So I don't think we're going to see Highsmith or Herbig. I should see Samalo because I don't think I don't know if he played last week or not, but Samalo should be out there.
I think he came out last week for a little bit. I could be wrong on that. What's up, Phil the Steel? Phil the Steel says, "What's up, Yinzers?" He says, RB, I say cheerleading is for girls, young women, period. The male cheerleader tossed the female cheerleaders and catch them. Never saw a male cheerleader with pom-poms.
George W. Bush and Ronald Reagan back in the day had their big megaphones.
Tortilla says that RB. Cam apparently practiced. It could be Tomlin not wanting to play him all along with Cam still holding out. Doesn't matter, I guess, but I think Cam plays week 1 with no new contract. Well, he was back out on the practice field yesterday, Tortilla. I think he got a little taste of reality. And again, we'll get into that in just a minute, guys. Cody says starters should have played against other starters. Fearless Steel says RB, you're 100% correct. RB says Field, I agree. It's taking shit away from young women, and it's also a push against killing of masculinity. It's an abomination. I have nothing against gay people, but no one asked for this.
Nothing against them, but I'm going to call it an abomination.
Well, I don't know if that's anyway. Cody says if they get burnt, it ain't going to look very good. RB says even if they wanted to do it, they don't need to cram it down everyone's throat like they did. It's a cultural agenda. No one wants it. I don't see an overwhelming amount of people beating down the door for it, but I don't. Again, I'm not going to get into this debate. Corey says wrong. LOL. John, who I believe Pat will play, Warren will play, so that's different. Plus, we get to see Ramsey on D, I believe. Yeah, we're going to get to see everybody, man. And this is again why I'm excited. This is kind of ass backwards in a way. But again, sometimes, I don't know, game 3 of the preseason, maybe you do have your starters in. And again, it's just Tomlin switches it every year, so it's hard to keep up with what's going on with the way that the way that he runs his preseason. And every time you think you get it, he changed it. So again, I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we will see all the starters with the exception of those 4 tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we have a Steeler game, guys. Do what you want with that. Kenneth says, I'm fine with Cam sitting out. The young 3 have been getting good work. Absolutely, man. I love Y.A. Black. I love Harmon. I love seeing these guys, Mike, and you're going to see an abundance of them guys tomorrow. Tortilla says, we're starting our cheerleaders this week.
Hell yeah, brother.
Tortilla also says, what's the word on Will Howard? Is he still out? I remember there was a chance he could come back. The word out on him is he is going to be eligible to play in week 1. So unfortunately for him, that's whenever he's not going to be playing or given a chance to play anymore. Mike, and some people might even say, which I don't think this is going to be a topic or an issue, but they're saying Will Howard can possibly not even make the cut. Skylar Thompson is playing so well. Mike, what do you do with the guy who doesn't give you the availability during the time when it's required? I don't think it's going to happen. Of course, you drafted this guy. You drafted him late, which I mean, this could be an indication that this isn't the guy they want for the future. This is a 6th-round pick, but I don't think that's going to be the case this week.
No.
Guys, I do think that the odd man out is going to be Skylar Thompson.
It's going to be Skylar Thompson. There's a reason Skylar Thompson was still available and only brought in as the 4th-team guy. Like, you see what he's done when given opportunity, especially in like Miami, where you have, 2 really good wide receivers, a pretty good offense too. When you go in and you completely shit the bed, there's a reason why you're the 3rd, 4th quarterback on a lot of teams.
Let's see. RB says, personally, I think taking away 2 days a week and resting starters is why you see so many injuries. Guys aren't in playing shape, and going from 35 to 150 in 3 seconds isn't good for you. That was the point I was making yesterday. There's a lot of stop and go motion in a game that you don't simulate in practice. And that's what that's what you have to simulate. Or again, you're putting yourself in a risk of injury. I've seen it in life. I've seen it. And it's again, it's good to get these guys out there tomorrow. I think that's always a good start.
Yeah, like you see, a lot of these guys are really in shape throughout the year too. And if you stop working out, everyone who's worked out knows, you stop working out, your body starts to adjust to not working out, not getting hit, and you go back into working out full time and getting hit. You got it like a steadier process instead of just, we took away all these mini camps, because there used to be a shit ton more mini camps too. A lot of involuntary mini camps. Now everything is voluntary. That could be a part of the issue too. Like the ramping up to the training camp. Like you don't have all those little mandatory little camps throughout the summer anymore. Now it's just a rookie camp, 1 mini camp, and then training camp. Have more of the mini camps the way they did too in the past.
Tortilla says queer leaders. You know what? That could actually be a name, because they call themselves queer. So why can't they be the queer leaders? I like that. That's actually pretty creative. I'm surprised Mike didn't burn down the house. But Mike, queer leaders. That's not wrong, is it?
I don't think so.
Mike is the morality police around here, I guess.
My morality changes from minute to minute.
Mark Malone says semen swelling sodomites. Phyllis Still says no pom-poms vanilla, no pom-poms. There's a difference vanilla. RB says, anyone see Rodgers busting Cam's balls? Yes. We're going to get into that real shortly.
Yes.
And that is a big part of what's going on, I think, guys, is the way he got his balls busted by Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. And again, almost immediately, he's out on the practice field.
Yeah.
So hold on, Mike. We're going to get into that in a second. I don't want to get behind here. Kenneth says,
no.
Is that saying Will Howard makes the cut? He better. Yes, Will Howard will be on this team next week when it's down to 53. I have no doubt in my mind that Will Howard will be here. They wanted him for a reason. And again, things could happen. There's a lot of things that could happen between now and April as well, Mike, with the draft. And so, I just think it's not good practice to let Will Howard go at this point. Skylar Thompson is obviously the odd man out.
Yeah, if Skylar Thompson goes out there and has a pretty good showing, I'm calling up a team like New Orleans and just dangling them. Hey, we're thinking about keeping this guy, but for the right price, the 6th-round pick, 7th-round pick, just get anything for him. If I'm in on, that's what I'm doing. I'm just hoping he goes out, has a really good showing, and then you send him on his way, and you get a nice little parting gift.
I'm sorry, Tortilla. He says if they keep Skyler, I think we just end up keeping 4 QBs like the Browns. I'd rather not, but I can see it. I just think it's such a waste of a spot. I agree. I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think if that's the case, that will be what happens. But at the end of the day, I just think that other spot could be really valuable through the course of the season. I don't know. I don't know if they will keep an extra. I don't understand why they would keep 4. To be honest with you, yes, Skyler performed okay, but I don't think we're going to hold the guy hostage. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of the day, they're going to let him go play somewhere if he can perform in the NFL and he could get that opportunity. Corey says, I think Howard goes to PS and they cut Woodside. You know what? Woodside's definitely going to be gone.
Woodside's gone, and I
don't see Howard going to the practice squad.
No, he won't clear waivers.
He'll be on the sideline holding a clipboard. Yeah. I wouldn't be too worried about him. He's not moving anywhere. I think he'll be on the sideline holding the clipboard for the next 20 weeks. RB says, if anything, Skylar Thompson might have to get a 53 spot elsewhere, and it will land us a 5 or 6 for his performance.
Shit, if we can get a 5th, Omar Khan's a fucking wizard. I like the way you're thinking, RB.
Cody says Will Howard might not play for Pittsburgh in general. LOL. We draft the quarterback first round next year. Will Howard only playing if he gets hurt. Again, we don't know what that situation. Let's say we draft a quarterback and it turns into a nightmare, and Will Howard ends up being the one that ends outperforming him. Again, the guy just did win a national championship at the college level. So again, there's a lot of things that are unanswered. Yeah. So instead of just banking on getting that guy in August or April, Mike, and hoping he works out, and hoping everything goes well, and hoping that he could step into the role of being the next franchise Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. Let's just say that doesn't work out, like it does on paper. Now you have this other guy who has a lot of confidence, and the team has some confidence in him, and he comes around extra hungry next spring because of his broken thumb. I think that's a good opportunity for a guy like Will Howard. And now you have plan A and plan B, and you're not trying to put all your eggs on the shoulders of your rookie quarterback to carry your franchise. So again, I think Will Howard, he remains 3. Will Howard walks up and down a sideline with a clipboard. Will Howard will be in the hunt for a starting job next spring into summer as the new rookie quarterback comes in as well. And I think that's going to be what happens.
Yeah. I got a couple things on that one too. Like with Will Howard being able to ride the bench for the year, he gets to learn from Aaron Rodgers the way Jordan Love learned from Rodgers, the way Rodgers learned from Brett Favre. Granted, Love and Rodgers were first round picks, but Will Howard has a lot of NFL qualities, but can he put it all together? Maybe sitting under Rodgers will help him. And 2, it kind of reminds you of the year when Washington drafted RG3 in the first round, then Kirk Cousins in the 4th. They had their insurance policy. They did it in one draft. We're just going to do it from the previous draft. We'll have that guy sitting there. And, worst case scenario, I think Will Howard can be a Charlie Batch, a Mason Rudolph, just a career-long backup that can be counted on to win you a handful of games here or there, or just, not lose you games when he has to fill in. And that's not a bad person to have on your team.
Or he could be like a number 6, Mike, and go out and have a great career like Mr. Brady or Mr. Purdy or any of these other guys. Yeah. Again, I just think that the ideal situation for Mr. Howard would be to stand on that sideline this season, learn, and throw his hat in next year when it's time to go. That's really, I think, the best case scenario for him, and work your way back. Again, he should be as hungry as a dog by that point, Mike, missing the preseason, ample opportunities to get out there and play football this year. So I think that's going to eat away at him during, this duration till then, Mike. So I think he's going to be hungry and ready to go for an interesting competition next spring, next summer.
Yeah.
Let's get back on the board. Tortilla says, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the NFL made a rule after the 49ers lost like 5 QBs in 1 year that you could have an emergency quarterback who isn't part of the 53-man roster. I could be wrong. Mike, I'm not sure. Is that it's something sounds there was something that happened, but
there was something there, yeah. And I can't remember if it happened with your third string quarterback being able to not I can't remember now. I know what you're talking about, and I remembered when it happened, like, okay, cool, that made sense. Then that issue, I don't think ever came up again, and now I can't remember it, but I know what you're talking about. I think it's maybe that third string quarterback doesn't count against the what you carry, 48 on the active game day. I think he doesn't count against that number. if I remember correctly.
All right, let's keep going. Like we're a half hour in. We still got to get to the big stories. Let's knock these messages out. Cody said Will Howard might not play for Pittsburgh in general. We draft the QB first round. Next year, Will Howard's only playing if he gets hurt. Okay, I think I went backwards. Let's go forwards. Wes Hatches said the team's not playing any starters in preseason. We're going to see a lot of soft tissue injuries in the first week. I think that's what you're seeing in the NFL, guys. You do see a lot of soft tissue injuries in the early weeks in the NFL, hamstrings, and unfortunately, hamstring injuries have gotten so much worse. My whole life, you would have a trainer run out and actually rub your hamstring until you're able to stand up and walk. Now it turns into a multi-week injury. So again, you hate to see it, especially for your team. But unfortunately, I think you're right, Wes. And I hope that it's elsewhere, not. We're again. We did this injury bug thing quite a few years in a row. Give us a break. Let us stay healthy for some period of time into the season. Again, Mike, the team is getting healthy right now with Highsmith practicing. Also, Calvin Austin III participating as well in practice. I think Ben Skoranek with his toe is the only one that's really sitting out right now that we still want to get an opportunity to look at here in the preseason. That's not going to happen with his toe. I would have liked to see Skoranek play a little bit in the preseason, Mike. But you know what? There's a lot of people that I'm still happy to be watching, and I'm okay with get healthy, my man. Let's see. RB says you have to condition your body for contact. It's not so much the physical shot. You're right. Absolutely right. I mean, you're out there clubbing people. you gotta be physically prepared. It's physically demanding. Cody says you could have as many QBs as you want, but other positions would get cut, and I don't think anyone other than Cleveland gets more than 3. Tortilla says Aaron handled that perfectly. Just funny jabs like get your ass back. Yes. We're going to get in that in just a second. I promise you guys. Right here, RB says quarterback always commands a round or 2 higher than it should be, and quarterback this preseason has been total ass. He follows it up by saying some idiot team will overpay for a guy who kills to be a solid backup.
Let's go New Orleans. Give us a 4th rounder for him.
And they got their rookie, man. They got their guy. What are you talking about?
Shuck hasn't been looking too good down there.
That was their guy.
I know.
Tortilla says, I hope somehow we land Arch Manning when he comes out in a couple years. That Manning got some melatonin, I guess the joke would be. In him, a Manning with some swag would be crazy. You know what? I heard he's when there's somebody that comes along that just has it. And that's
he does have that swagger.
There's one thing that you don't want to miss is a guy like that, because he's going to go somewhere else and be wildly successful. And, we'll take our linebacker or whatever the hell we pick in that draft and, do what we usually do. But you know what I'm saying? I would not bet against Mannings. I'm not a gambling man, but if I were, I would not bet against a Manning. That's just an observation, guys. Cody says, do you think that they would play a 6th-round quarterback over their 1st-round quarterback, though it's a slippery slope, killing confidence in one of them, along with Mason staying here? You know what? Again, that's a long way away. I just think the best case scenario for young Will Howard at this point, just carry that clipboard, just learn, get your reps in when you can, and then come out next spring and give it everything you got. Again, he missed his opportunity to show what he has, this summer with the injury. So the best he could do is just really focus to play. He might be more prepared up here than the rookie coming in. So, even if it is a number 1, number 6 may certainly have that advantage, certainly at that point.
Yeah, but if you're a 1st-round pick and the team decides hey, we're going to sit you for a year and we're going to let this guy who's been here be the guy, or hey, you have to compete against him and that kills your confidence, that shows me you're not mentally tough enough to be a starter in the NFL. I always hate that. We can't let them lose confidence. You're playing at the highest level. If, one little roadblock, ruins your confidence, that's not a good sign to me. That's never a good sign to me. We have to manage, their confidence level. You're competing against the best of the best. Go out there. You're going to get your ass knocked down. Get yourself back up and go back out there and get it done. I hate when I always hear that narrative about quarterbacks or pitchers. We got to protect their confidence. Go. No, you don't. You're supposed to be the best of the best. If you can't handle it, the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Plus, I don't think that it's abnormal to sit a rookie behind a guy that's been there. But again, guys, we have so much time. I mean, who knows? Who knows? The world could get smashed by an asteroid in between now and then, guys. And
right here on top of this.
Well, the weird thing about it, the stupid thing that's coming toward the Earth now, it's providing its own light. I don't know. Nobody knows what it is. It's on its path to get here in November.
You know what it is? It's our next franchise quarterback, brother. He's shining the light. He's
one thing that gets me about these UFOs, these people, these aliens are so smart. They come from galaxies away, but yet they have to have big flashing lights on their aircraft to let everybody know they're coming. They're so advanced, Mike. They don't realize that keeping the lights low would keep it a little bit.
Hey, maybe they're trying to be friendly. They're giving you the little warning. Hey, bros, we're coming through.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to Corey. Corey, I do believe it's Corey. Yes. Corey says the third string is activated for game day and doesn't count against the starting 53. He suits up like 1 and 2. Tortilla says we didn't play Kenny or Big Ben, right? Exactly. That's the thought process. I think Howard and Rudolph battle it out, and we let whoever we draft come in when he's ready. That could be week 1 or that could be week 18. I agree. That's probably going to be the case, Tortilla.
Yeah.
John says players and teams have already moved on to an 18-game season mindset with 2 buys and only 1 preseason game that includes extra overseas games during the second bye. Do you like the overseas games, guys? Throw that up on the board. That is just a general question for the day. Do you like these overseas games? Do you like see games out of the country? I, for one, I don't care. I'm never going to be in one of these other countries more than likely when this is going on. This isn't a big thing for me. Waking up at 9:30 on Sunday, that kind of affects me. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about these overseas, out of country games?
Like I'm kind of torn on them. Like I like them, but like you said, get up at 9 a.m. That's a bit too early to be drinking for me on a Sunday.
Tortilla says, Mike, that's true. We learned that with Kenny, as soon as he had any opposition, he requested a trade. Corey said nobody wants to come here. We're trying to move to Mars. Why the fuck would aliens want to come here? And
to see me.
Well, they do see the big shine off the top of your head. Maybe they think that it's a reflection off of their craft, is what I'm guessing.
Exactly. They're mistaking me for one of their long lost religious idols.
Cody says aliens always crash and they're always naked. I think the drunk ones come in. That's right. They're the ones that took the wrong turn.
My people, brother. My people
crash and they come tumbling out of the UFO and they're
maybe that's why they always go find rednecks, because they're the alien rednecks.
John says the Steelers should focus on running the ball. Rodgers had 1 300-yard passing game in his last 40 games. You're right. They do have to focus on running the football. And I'm just wondering if if that played any part into having all the starters. Tortilla said the aliens are coming to America to find work. And finally, Phyllis still says, let the world see queer cheerleaders. Great comments, everybody. Every time we got caught up, Mike went into one of his long tirades. And you know what? I thought we're never going to get into any of these stories, Mike. So here we go. Let's get into it.
I can see the look on your face every time I see.
No, you couldn't, because I'm over here.
I know, brother. I know. I see the stew.
All right, so go ahead. You just talk nonsense. We won't get into any of these topics today. That would be great, Mike. Let's get into it. DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers did make some comments toward Cam Hayward, Mike, during the podcast. And here's what I think happened. I think Cam Hayward realized it and says, you know what? People aren't going to like me. People aren't going to think I'm a leader. People weren't going to think that I'm this or that. I think this is the reason, Mike, why Cam Hayward was back out on the practice field yesterday. He was participating in a lot of different things, some things by himself, and then other things, Mike, fully padded with the team. So what I take away from this, what are some of the comments that they'd said to him? They said, everything is not about you. Everything is not about your money. Damn, get out there. Whatever all these comments were, Mike, I ultimately think because all of a sudden, after this podcast happens and after these comments by Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf, again, Cam Hayward is out on the practice field. I don't think that the contract negotiation got resolved at all, Mike. I don't think anything happened, to be honest with you. But I do believe this is why Cam Hayward was back out on this practice field, Mike. He got it. Maybe I think that Cam Hayward pays attention to social media. I think he pays attention to what people says about him. I think that he's starting to get the gist of it, that, you know what, people are my legacy Mike, my legacy is a lifelong Pittsburgh Steeler, all pro, sack, this many, whatever, is in jeopardy if I don't continue to play football at this point. Mike, again, there's a time for everything. He had his time last year. There's other people that were getting their time taken care of this year. This I don't think he understands. He's still trying to get that money, but at the end of the day, Mike, I think it's all about him, and I think he realizes that more and more people every day, every time you open up a social media site or every time you open up a newspaper, he's starting to get it now. And again, I don't think he wants his legacy ruined, especially at this point in his career, Mike. He's going to be 37 years old. He knows there's not much time left. I went this long being Cam Hayward. I can't have everybody hating me.
Yeah, and you can see the reaction on his face, and here it is. That's the face he made when DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers were like, it's not all about you, bro. It's not all about you and your money. He was shocked that they called him out.
That is actually the look on your face when you watch male cheerleaders.
Now, mine is usually, but that's a bit much. But no, that's
it was rather gay. It wasn't much, but it's all right.
Jazz hands. But no, like that's the face he made. He did not know what to make of actually being called out.
Yeah.
By a member of the Steelers. Like he probably hadn't had anyone since maybe Ben.
Bro, and it's not. It was Aaron freaking Rodgers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This wasn't
like the look on DK Metcalf. DK's like, it's not always about you,
right?
And he was like annoyed.
You have two high-profile players on your football team saying, "Bro, this isn't all about you. Get out there and play football." Yeah. Mike, instead, here he is. He's walking around all the time. And, listen, he's walking around. Then he goes and does his podcast. Go do your job, dude. Again, get it taken care of. Go behind closed doors. This hold-in shit is getting old. Again, we're in our last preseason game. All the BS should be close to being done at this point. You take these next 17 days after tomorrow and you fine-tune and you get ready for the Jets and do all those things that you didn't do in the preseason because you didn't want to expose your team. Now you start focusing. You have 17 days to get ready. This is not the shit you want to be worrying about. Cam Hayward working on his contract every 5 months. That shit, again, go behind closed doors, get it done. We're not worried about it. We don't care about it. We would rather you not take care of it right now. So again, Mike, he's starting to see that the public opinion wasn't so great of him, and I do believe that plays a big part into why Cam Hayward shows back up on that football field yesterday, practices. A pretty good practice. Again, Mike did way more than some of the practices he had before he stopped practicing. So hopefully whatever gets taken care of for him on the financial part, hopefully they do it, get it taken care of. Don't tell me about it. I don't care. I just want to know that you're ready to play football. And again, Mike, tomorrow night, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be in Carolina playing the Panthers with all their starters with the exception of 4. The Pittsburgh Steelers, that's what I'm talking about, with the exception of Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, TJ Watt, and Cam Hayward. Everybody else is playing that's healthy, and Carolina will not be playing their starters. So interesting, guys. It should be a lot of fun tomorrow night. Steelers at Carolina, and there's 2 games tomorrow. I believe the Giants and the Patriots play after, or 8 o'clock, an 8 o'clock start, but the Steelers is a 7 o'clock start tomorrow. Let's talk about a few things here. So I would say that the hold-in is over in a sense. He participated in all phases of practice, including teamwork and pads and individual practice periods Tuesday. There hasn't been any movement on the contract situation. So that's the up-to-date scoop that the media has out there. But Mike, I'm ready. You're ready. The board's ready. Pittsburgh's ready. Steeler Nation's ready. The Steelers are ready. Cam Hayward needs to get his ass ready.
Yeah, he needs to get ready. He was the last remaining player with a boo-boo face on. At least Boswell realized, when they ain't budging, I'm going to at least go out there and kick off in the preseason, end my little hold in. And then Cam, being told to, nut up or shut up. And he called out Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers actually responded to him on the podcast about that of saying he was hurt. You didn't reach out to me, and then more or less like you're doing this bullshit and it's great to see another player call Cam out. And I love it, and get you can pull this shit, Cam, when you're a 4-time MVP. not a one-time Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner.
And I
Get
tell you
your
another,
ass out there.
And I tell you another thing, Mike. Just came out yesterday. T.J. Watt paid for a tab for nearly 40 of his Steeler teammates at dinner. TJ did. I want to see Cam pay for 40 teammates whenever he gets his big paycheck, Mike, because, if it's not all about Cam, I want, TJ didn't have to take 40 of his teammates out, Mike. I mean, when I go out myself, it costs me about $30. Could you imagine NFL football players who can eat a ton? 40 of these guys, who knows how much it was. So again, Cam has a long way to go to get back in the good graces of Pittsburghers, Mike, and I hope that he gets it. I really do. I don't want Cam to walk away from the Steelers eventually being the bad guy, But again, he's kind of doing this to himself. Nobody wants to see you at this point arguing about your contract.
Exactly.
It's not time. There's a time for everything, and this is not the time for that. Guys, and again, he just doesn't look like a leader, Mike. And I think a lot of things really hit him when Aaron Rodgers and DK let him have it on that podcast.
Exactly. Like, these two guys that, they're outsiders coming into this place, and they're acting more like Steelers than the guy who's a professed locker room leader and a lifelong Steeler and a Steeler who can play in any era. Like, those two are showing that, hey, no, the Steeler way is just, get your shit in order and get your ass out onto the field. Like, those two guys are here to play football and win. Someone's here to play football and just make money.
Right. All right. So the scoop is, guys, no Cam. No Cam, no TJ, no Aaron Rodgers, no DK. But tomorrow we are going to see all starters in the final preseason game as long as they are healthy. Mike, the CBS. Remember, we were just complaining about CBS because of their yesterday or beginning of the week. They said that Darnell Washington was should be worried about getting cut. Remember this conversation?
Yeah, from yesterday. Yeah.
We all laughed hysterically, went on with our day. Mike, well, this is another CBS prediction. CBS predicts the Steelers will start 6-0. They did say that the Steelers will start 6-0 with its first loss of the year coming in Week 7 to Cincinnati. Now, get this. This is what they're going off of. AFC North teams are 3-13 when playing a primetime game on the road against another AFC North team over the past 6 years. This is what they're going off of, which means nothing. But again, historically, in the past 6 years, AFC North teams are 3-13 when playing a primetime game on the road against another AFC North team over the past 6 years. So interesting numbers. CBS doing their homework. I don't know if that's going to mean a whole lot come game 7, week 7 of the season, but that is where they have us losing our first game, Mike, in that.
That record's not surprising, but it's kind of surprising. I didn't realize it was that bad in the AFC North for the road teams going in there. But you have to figure this is one of the toughest division in the last 5 years.
Division
so it tracks, teams, you think you're going to go into Cleveland and dog walk them, but they have a stout defense, and defenses get fired up when you're playing at home against a good team. So shit, man, it's wild. That's a wild stat.
It really is.
That blew my mind. I'm flummoxed.
I could tell. I literally see smoke coming out of your ears.
The hamster fell off the wheel and crawled up my butt crack.
I don't want to hear about this.
We're going full bore today, baby.
Vikings, male cheerleaders, and hamsters in Mike's ass is the theme of today's show. You got to love it, everybody. Welcome to the Two Dumb Yinzers. Guys, before I get back on the board, Mike, I do want to read. I know that people were wondering what happened to Rock Taylor. Rock Taylor was a fan favorite here in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Apparently, guys, I do have the scoop. This is according to Ray Fittipaldo, Mike. He says that Rock Taylor actually got in Mike Tomlin's doghouse at the joint practice. Not sure if that's the sole reason he was cut. Maybe part of it, Ray Fittipaldo said. He says Tomlin has long been known for having little tolerance for off-field issues, and it is possible that Taylor crossed a line that Tomlin was not approving of. He also offered much less on special teams than other borderline roster players such as Max Hurtleman and Connor Hayward. So it may have been this reason, Mike. So as far as we know, that's the scoop that we have. It may not be, but according to the media that covers every day up at the stadium, Mike, and at the practice facility, says that it seemed that he was in Tomlin's doghouse.
Yeah, and let this be a lesson to all young athletes. if you want to do something stupid off the field, you have to be one of the best players on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. At least be able to play special teams.
Sucks. It sucks, but that's how it's been in pro sports forever. You have to more or less be one of the untouchable guys to do something stupid off the field. I mean, Arrowhead Holmes was shooting guns at medical helicopters, and he still played for Chuck Noll. Yeah, he was a valued member of that team.
Let's get to the board, Mike. Tortilla says, as long as aliens touch ground on Earth, Roger Goodell is going to try to get an expansion team across the galaxy. Another thing, Mike,
from the Andromeda Galaxy.
And the question I did have earlier, guys, to throw your answer up on the board, are you in favor of these games that are out of the country, overseas, Mexico, wherever the case may be, Mike? Because one thing I also did see as well was they're trying to lobby. The United Kingdom is trying to lobby for the Super Bowl to be played in the United Kingdom, which I think is a terrible idea. Yeah. I mean, it's the American holiday. It's come on, Super Bowl Sunday. But it wouldn't surprise me, guys. Yes, I do think that Goodell would try to have a team in another galaxy. Tortilla follows that up by saying Cam had to know Rodgers would say something, though, right? He isn't that naive. I think the podcast played a part, but I also think he has no legs to stand on, and it's all time to play ball. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if there's a Super Bowl in England, I will be showing up at NFL headquarters with a blowtorch.
Don't
and
say
a hamster.
That.
And a hamster.
And the hamster. Well, you could say that. I mean, because that guy that did walk into the NFL
I forgot about that.
I try to keep clear of that one for a little while at least.
Yeah. As soon as I said the blowtorch, it's like, oh shit, we did have that guy up there. So they'll change it to the hamster.
There's flags and lights blinking at YouTube Central right now.
I know, right?
Let's see. Corey says, when one of the most viewed selfish football players in the last 5 years calls you selfish, it's an eye opener for anyone, I'd assume. And here's the thing about this, guys. Aaron Rodgers is playing for a quarter of what he's worth. You know what I mean? So for somebody to come in that's literally taking nothing, basically, to play football, to come out and be a Hall of Famer, and to be an MVP, and to be getting paid a quarter of what you deserve to be making, to come out and call you out and say it's not all about you, dude. It's not all about your money. Something clicked, Mike. Something clicked. Now, whether that again, we'll see what happens in the next 2.5 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so far, so good. This is what we wanted to see as far as fans go. We wanted to see Cam Hayward back out on the football field. We don't want to hear about the contract. Again, take care of it. Do your thing. Whatever you got to do. But again, play football. That's that's all any of us care about.
Yeah. If you wanted more money, you should have renegotiated a better contract last year. And that's
you had your chance. Exactly. Just like everyone that's doing their contracts now have their chance. They just took care of their contract. Again, there's a time for everything. Every year, every contract, every time to sit down and do things is not all Cam time.
No. Like if you wanted a pay raise, you have the language worked in there.
Absolutely. That's why you have agents. That's why there's attorneys. Exactly. That's why there's people that know what they're doing. Because you should be focusing on football.
Yeah, if he said what he said, I guarantee you his agent was probably looking at him like, you dumb motherfucker.
You know? Mark Malone says DK was about to call Cam a gum guzzler. John says to tell me about your labor pains. Show me the
baby.
I'll show me the baby, motherfucker. John bringing it this morning. Tortilla says he knew he wasn't getting more money. He just wanted to cause drama so people watch this podcast. You know what? I didn't even know he had a podcast. So maybe you are right. I can't say I've ever seen an episode, but I did see the clip from yesterday, Mike.
It was great.
You showed it to me, as a matter of fact, here at the studio. Coaster, what's up, Coasterholics? Great seeing you on the board as always, sir. He says, I really hope this bullshit is over with Cam, and hopefully he doesn't pull this stuff mid-season. I hope you're right.
Oh, I could see Cam having like an all-pro type season halfway through. Like, where's my money? I want a pay raise now.
Yeah, where's my money? Like Debo on Friday. Give me my money.
Where my gold chain at?
My grandmama gave me that chain. John says Cam will buy 46-inch subs at Subway. You know what? It's still going to be costly. Like I said yesterday, that chicken sandwich cost me $9 that I didn't eat because it was what's the word I'm looking for, Mike? It came out of the Wendy's. It smelled like a fart.
The fart.
When they opened up that window and that girl with that big old bug eyes was looking at me and it just smelled like a fart, I just wanted to take off.
That was her mating call, brother.
It was her
She's
mating
like,
call.
Hell yeah, he gonna smell this.
And I just waited. I just waited for the food, and I pulled him. Like I could have just pulled up to the next stop at the trash can and threw it in there. I couldn't believe. And you think about fast food, there's always weird smells coming out. There's things frying and meats and chemicals and everything else. But the smell, just like somebody busted ass right in your face, man.
That is.
I don't know if I could go back.
You wanted to play the lottery. You were playing the flatulence fecal lottery, brother.
Yeah. Tortilla says, TJ said I ain't playing for all 90 of you, or I ain't paying for all 90 of you. Yeah, that's right. Where's the whole roster at? They're not down to 53 yet. What's he thinking?
Those practice squad guys were not invited.
Tortilla also says, I don't think Cam would even pay for Connor, let alone 39. I could see Connor being an ass though, and doing little brother things. Mike, you're a little brother. Just ordering the most expensive shit just because it's your big brother.
Well, fuck yeah.
Which would be funny, I think.
Fuck them.
Aaron, what's up, Aaron Jade? Always great seeing you on the board. He says, here we go, Steelers. That's right, baby. Tomorrow, we have a Steeler football game. Richard says, I'm not a big fan of overseas. Me neither, because you know what? I'm a creature of habit. I really am. And if I have to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning to watch football, it just messes up my whole psyche.
Yeah.
I'm a mess for the whole week.
Fucking tell me about it. I'm a fan when they're not my team.
Right.
Where I can wake up a little bit later, see what's going on. But if
it's Jacksonville and Atlanta, who gives two shits? You know what I mean? Coasterholic says, here's your fart fried chicken, sir. That's what it was like. And as I said yesterday, if it was an attractive girl, does that make a difference? Yes. Yes, it does. If an attractive girl opens the window and it smells like farts, I don't know. I don't know. Should that matter? But it did. It did matter. And I couldn't eat the sandwich, guys. And I'm not saying anything bad about unattractive girls. I'm just saying it's something that goes on up here. I can't explain. I don't know. But it would have been very hard to eat that sandwich, guys. Paranormal in the Funhouse. Always great seeing you on the board. Welcome. Cody says Hines Ward took a pretty good shot at Cam on X, saying he forgot what it was to be. Ain't that a small world? What a circle that we just traveled, Mike, isn't it? What a perfect circle, because Cam Hayward he will not hesitate to say this kind of thing to somebody else. Wasn't this just said about Aaron Rodgers within the past 3 months? Yeah. By Mr. Cam Hayward?
Mm-hmm. And speaking of like that Hines Ward quote, I was talking to a buddy at work about this, and he's like, you know what? He's like, I want to know what people like Troy and Ike Taylor feel about Cam Hayward, because when they talk about ex-Steelers that they played with, none of those guys bring up Cam Hayward at all.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? Like, guys from the past that overlapped with Cam,
like if he would have kept Cam. If he would have kept his mouth shut his whole career and not did all those little things that kind of annoyed you specifically that I know, would you have a different opinion of him? Mm-hmm. Is it his personality? Is that what it is about Cam?
Yeah, well, like once I found out, like after that Jacksonville game, and I really listened to him post game and listened to the offense post game and the dichotomy of how they handled the loss, where like Ben and the offensive players were like, we should have done more. We shouldn't have turned the ball over. We and like me personally as the quarterback, I have to be better to not put the team in this situation. Where Cam was like, defense just has to be better. We just have to be better. We have to be better. We have to be better. Like, it was like you, Stephon Tuitt and Javon Hargraves let the team down because you guys were getting manhandled, and that let the linebackers get manhandled. And then that opened up everything for the run game and the pass game. He did not take any personal responsibility. That was a huge Cam Hayward going into that game. I liked him, even though he was an Ohio State guy. I hated him in college, but when we got him, like, this guy's pretty good. And then he was doing well. And then after that game, the way he handled himself in front of the media, because this is the first time I really paid attention to him talk. And I'm like, oh no, you're that guy. And that soured him on me. I hate people who don't take, some personal responsibility for a loss when they were like a key part of the loss. Even if you're not a part of the loss, you did well. You still, as a leader, say, I could have done more. Even though you couldn't have, but that's what people want to hear from a leader is I could have done more. And he didn't do that, and it soured me ever since.
Kenneth says, I can see the Steelers play overseas and are not allowed to come back to America. That would be our luck. A couple of things, guys, that moving forward here about the team. Mike, we did sign former Vikings and Michigan State edge rusher Kenny Walikes. That's just another person that was signed that may or may not be here in the next week, give or take. That did happen yesterday, Mike. Also, what am I looking for here? The punter competition. The punter competition is coming down to the wire, Mike. Apparently, they cannot make a decision on either of these two guys, Cameron Johnston or Corliss Waitman, Mike. It's going to be exciting. And at this point, I had a preference at the beginning because I didn't get a chance to see Cam.
Yeah.
You know what? This year, whoever's the better man, I hope they win. Early on, I wanted Cam because we didn't get to look at him. We heard about how good he was. He's a top 3 punter all time, like top 3. But again, Mike, if Corliss Waitman beats him, I am totally cool with that. I want the guy who's going to come out and punt better, and to have two guys of this caliber punting going against one another. I want the best. I want the guy that wins the competition.
Me too. Whoever's the best, let's run with him because we saw firsthand what Corliss Waitman can do and how well he performed last year. I'm all for it. And if Cam Johnson comes out and has a monster game and totally out kicks Waitman, you got to go with him. But right now, from what I'm seeing, it's got to be Waitman. Got to be Waitman.
Kenneth on the board is saying Waitman's the man. I got to be honest with you, Mike. He hit a couple inside the 20, or he had at least one inside the 20. I think there was 3 punts inside the 20 in last week's game between the two of them. So it's going to come down, Mike. It's going to come down to this preseason game and a little bit what they could do in practice. But again, Mike, it won't be long. This roster will be cut down, and we're going to have our team that we're going into the season with. Coasterholic says Corliss and Cam are both great. It's hard for me to that's where I'm at, man. It really is. He says it's hard for me to choose one or the other. Whoever gets dropped will make another team. No problem at all. Again, Mike, this is one competition that I don't have a horse in the race. I want the best possible guy, and whoever wins this competition, I'm totally cool with. Let's get ready to play football at the end of the day. RB says I always felt it funny. Cam thinks he's the same as Lambert and Green and Blunt and Troy. He's below Ike Taylor, Ryan Clark, and Lawrence Timmons to me.
To me, he's below Aaron Smith and Big Snacks.
Oh, they were hella good players.
Levon Kirkland, I think, was a better Steeler than him.
Mike, I seen Levon Kirkland at 270 pounds intercepting passes over his shoulder 30 yards downfield.
Running with wide receivers downfield.
I think Cam's somewhere in the middle of all these people we're talking about, guys. It's hard to tell about a defensive tackle sometimes. It really is because it's hard to monitor them because there's so much going on through the course of the game. Of course, everyone on our board, we all watch for specific things to talk about here on the show, but I think he's somewhere in the middle of all those names. I certainly don't feel that he's a Lambert, Green, Blunt, Troy, anybody like this.
But I think he does. I think he thinks he's as good as Mean Joe Green.
I think he thinks that he is an easy walk into the Hall of Fame in 5 years after he retires. I honestly believe that, Mike. I think that he feels that he is going to walk into Canton.
And I think he will. The way the media loves him, he's an automatic lock. I do. I think he's an automatic lock because people are they fawn. The national media fawns all over him because they just look at the stats at the end of the year. Go, oh yeah, he's awesome, and he's the guy.
Corey says keep both punters and try them out as emergency place kickers in case Boz gets hurt.
Why are you going to say something scary like Boz getting hurt, Corey?
And then Cody says, I don't know. Waitman shanked the ball. The game, the Cleveland game and the snow, what do they call it? The snow globe game last year.
That game did not happen.
That game never happened. It never counted.
That was a terrible game by every. No one had a good game that game.
Mike, also getting ready for the season. Here's something else that I did read this morning. Peyton Wilson wants to absolutely wants to destroy Justin Fields in the first game, Mike, of the season against the Jets. I got to be honest. I'm so pumped up about this team, Mike. I'm so pumped up about this season. These guys are pumped up. They're ready to play football. Yeah. They're ready to go out and destroy. I mean, come on. This guy was just our teammate last year. Peyton Wilson comes out and said he wants to absolutely destroy Justin Fields in the first game of the year. Friend Justin Fields, it was worded.
He probably was smiling about it. Fields was like, oh yeah, I know you're coming. That's why I love fucking football. Dudes talking shit to each other, knowing like, yeah, we may be friends, but I'm gonna go kick your ass. I'm fucking fired up, dude. I'm ready to run through a fucking wall right now. Some football.
Kenneth says if Harrison still isn't in the hall yet, Cam might have to fight. Exactly. There's no way that Cam should get in before James Harrison. There's no way.
No. James Harrison, defensive player of the year, arguably could have had it borderline another one. Greatest play in NFL or in Super Bowl history. It's a dominant force for
Mike, there is no chance in hell that Cam Hayward could have ever pulled that play off in Harrison pulled in the Super Bowl. Can you imagine Cam running 103 yards with Larry Fitzgerald chasing him down the sideline and everything? All the circumstances that happened for him to actually end up in that end zone. Can you see Cam Hayward doing that?
Fuck no. I couldn't see Cam Hayward having the situational awareness to go, hey, I know I'm not going to be able to get to Kurt Warner here. I'm going to go play coverage. I'm going to go
stage,
I'm going to go make my own play that's going against what Dick LeBeau is telling me to do. I'm going to go freelance. I don't think Cam would have the balls to do it.
Mike, and here's the thing: any big game that Cam has the opportunity to make big plays, he doesn't. Again, his play in the playoffs, his numbers are very minuscule, Mike. To think on that big of a level, that big of a stage, I think would kind of be crazy. And he's just not in the shape to be able to do that. I wouldn't imagine Mike at that size. Corey on the board says I can't see Cam running for 3 yards. Let me grab a couple more of these messages on the board, Mike. RB says Waitman can kick Corey. Corey Beavers. Okay, I get what he said. He could actually place kick. So okay, I don't know, can he? I don't know. It's pretty tough if you lose Chris Boswell. I think they'd probably want to go after a place kicker. I would think so, but I guess it's not out of the question, right? I thought that he meant he was going to place kick Corey.
So did I, for talking about balls getting hurt.
I
realized what he was saying. Yeah, it took me a second.
Tortilla says, I will never forget the Jameis Winston snow game. He turned into Mahomes in the snow. Damn, yeah, he sure did. Now he's backing up Russell Wilson.
I'm praying to Jesus to deliver me from these pick sixes.
Yeah.
Might be one of my favorite quotes of all time.
Also, Mike, a couple more things we do have here. This is a couple of comments that Ben made about the team. So, one, he loves Derek Harmon. Big Ben said this about Derek Harmon. He says, man, Derek's going to be an animal. Love to see it. Love to see him basically just manhandle people. He just takes control of the line. He takes control of his guy, and he is going to get so much better the more he learns about the little nuances of the game, little techniques, little trick things. I'm not going to call it cheating things, but things that the big guys do in there. He's going to figure it out. He's going to learn from Cam. He's going to learn from those guys how to be a vet, but awesome for him. Big Ben, great encouraging words about Mike, our first pick this year, Derek Harmon, who hopefully plays a big role on this defensive line, Mike. Again, the secondary is so much improved. The linebacker core is so strong. If you could get performances from Derek Harmon, from Keanu Benton, and Y.A. Black when he gets the chance to play, Mike, I think those three guys having strong seasons go such a far away for this football team, Mike. Getting pressure on the quarterback with that defensive backfield, manning up and causing timing differences and all these problems for teams. Mike, these young men on this defensive line, if they could step it up a notch, it goes such a far away for this Steelers defense.
Yeah. If they can, force one of them can force double teams, and then Watt's going to get double teamed. That's going to leave at least one person running free if you bring more than four. And the way they're looking to play coverage on the back end, doing a lot of man, someone's going to should be blitzing free every single play.
Again, in theory, Mike, on paper, this is going to be a lot of fun. Again, there's teams that that you're going to struggle. There's teams that that you're going to have to kind of tighten up a little bit against. We do get Buffalo this season, which is a big game for us. We get Detroit, we get Minnesota, we get Baltimore twice. You get Green Bay, the Chargers. So, I mean, there's some good games, Mike. But there's games that you're going to just be able to tee off on people, tee off on teams. we're facing the Colts. We get Daniel Jones. They just named Daniel Jones the
it-
starter in
yeah.
that fiasco going on over there. So
Oh,
games
God.
like this, Mike, I think that we're gonna just dominate teams. Especially like a Indianapolis.
I hope so. Finally, we get them at home for the first time in forever. It feels like,
Yeah.
and that team's just a complete clusterfuck right now. I just, that quarterback competition was a no-win competition. They're both not good, and I think Danny Dimes is better than Anthony Richardson. I think Richardson should have stayed in college for a few more years to work on his craft because he has the physical tools to do it. But that was the bad move. And I hope we tee off on that team. And I hope one of these teams that's supposed to be really good does not live up to the hype. And we just, dog walk them.
Or maybe we're that much better, Mike, and we're able to win games now that we weren't able to win before because we built a good team. That's not out of the question.
No, it's not. No. I'm trying not to get too high. I've been getting too high recently on the Steelers. I'm trying to temper my expectations a little bit.
Let's jump on the board for a few minutes. RB says everyone called him Captain Cam. I've always called him Captain Cam Kiss Ass.
That's 100% true.
Yeah, that's basically right along with what you always said, Mike. You were never a big Cam guy. At first you were, but as you said, as time went on, I know that you weren't.
Yeah.
Corey says if he could place kick me, then that's the guy I want on my team. Kenneth says, no shade to Cam. He's good, but losing the Steeler way is a loss of the right attitude. That's detrimental. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. John says, having punters conduct a drop kick field goal competition in case balls goes down. Boy, that's something you don't see anymore is the drop kick, huh?
Exactly, yeah. Doug Flutie going in for the Patriots to do that.
Tortilla says, balls ain't going down. Kenneth says, if our dogs hunt our secondary can buy them time, we can be scared. We can. That's what I'm saying. If this team stays locked in, this team has to stay on the same page. They got to be motivated correctly. And again, leadership plays a big role in that, guys. So from the defensive leaders, the Jalen Ramseys to Peyton Wilson, to the offensive leaders, to Aaron Rodgers, to the coaches, to the coordinators, they all got to keep these people on the same page. Do you remember, guys, that Baltimore defense in 2000, Mike? There was not a minute they played that season that they didn't play in that mindset that they were just going to annihilate everybody, Mike. And again, they went out week in, week out, and it was because of Ray Lewis's leadership. They were a good team, but again, under different leadership, they probably wouldn't have had the same results. They have to go out week in, week out with that same mentality. Don't lose touch of what it is that you want to do. And they could be that kind of team, Mike. And again, you have the players. Now it's just getting people prepared and ready to go and do the same thing week in, week out for 4 months. Can this team do it? I hope they can. Again, there's plenty of leaders, Mike. They bring in some big name leaders again on defense with Ramsey, again on offense with Aaron Rodgers. So again, keeping consistent throughout the whole entire season is you're going to lose that one game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's probably going to be New England. I don't know why, but I just always get the vibe that whatever reason, New England is always hard for us to beat. But besides for that one game, you got to be able to keep your team consistent and on that same page as long as you can, Mike. Again, Baltimore did it that year, the whole season through the playoffs, all the way to their Super Bowl win. I hate to talk about them but
it's true though.
But it's true. There's not a defense that I personally seen better in my lifetime. Tampa Bay's in 03 was pretty good. The Bears in 85 was good. But me personally, watching football, I don't remember a defense that was better than that 2000 Ravens. It was unbelievable what they were able to do.
Yeah, that team was just unbelievable. You hate to say it because of who they are, but by far they're the best defense I've seen, even better than like the couple damn good defenses we've had here in the past 20 years. That Ravens defense was up there, and this team right here, man, like you said, man, they get something special brewing here. And I like how you mentioned Peyton Wilson as a leader. I like the way I'm hearing him talk in the media of like setting the bar high for himself and for the team. And, he's going to have the green dot. I think he's going to step up to be one of those leaders that we've missed in a while. Where, we've had a lot of quiet leaders on this team, like Cam and TJ. But now you got someone like Jalen Ramsey, who's not afraid to speak up. And it's looking like Peyton Wilson's not afraid to speak up either. So you get more leaders on this team, more vocal leaders, especially on defense. You need those guys. You need vocal leadership on the defense. And I'm getting excited to see what they're going to do, because I think they do have the blueprint to be something special.
Mark Malone says the front four rotation is going to be insane. Cody says, I have a conspiracy theory. Miami can't pay Minka next year. We keep all the same players and get Minka back. Hey, you know what? Miami is the new Chicago. Who knows? Who knows how we're going to be able to face these guys?
I would take it in a heartbeat.
Coasterholic says Daniel Jones is a starter. Yikes, glad I'm not a Colts fan. Hey, for many reasons, not just this, but yes, I am also glad that I'm not a Colts fan.
Dude, yeah. I saw Colts fans saying like I'd rather suck for 4 years and struggle through quarterbacks than be mid every year. I'm like, oh, you have fun with that being miserable.
Yeah,
I'll take my 9 and 8s, 10 and 6s.
Listen, don't let anybody get you down because you're a Steeler fan. That's all it is. Yeah. Is people are just trying to make you feel like shit because you have literally, the most successful team in the Super Bowl era. I mean, all the numbers that come down to it and the wins that we were able to get over the time and listen, there might be some things that other people were better than us at, but at the end of the day, we're the top dog. We're the Yankees when it comes down to it. The Cowboys wanted to be that team. That team hasn't been to a championship in 30 years. They haven't been to an NFC championship. They're the only team in the NFC that has not been to an NFC championship game in 30 years. Every single other team in that conference has, except for the Cowboys. They aren't the Yankees. We're the Yankees. So if anybody gives you shit, that's all it is. Just know that that's all it is. On the board, Craig Cole. Great to see you, Craig, on the board. Welcome. He says it's the NFL. They all get paid. It's true. It's very true. John says Boz missed 5 games in 2022. It is possible. It is possible. But you know what? That wouldn't be our first rodeo. How many times have we been we had to find a place kicker in a pinch? I mean, go back to the Chris Brown days. Chris Brown out of Nebraska. The guy couldn't make a field goal to save his life at Acrisure Stadium, Heinz Field at the time. And then we always, how many times Peterson, a guy named Peterson, and Sean Sweezum. The list goes on, guys. We've definitely been in that rodeo before. Let's hope that's not the case, but point taken, John. RB says, I watched the kicking punting combine. That's that a company holds for the NFL to see kickers and punters, and Waitman was hitting from 55 with the simulated rush. Not bad. Not bad at all. Kenneth says either way we can't lose with the punting. No, you're right. That's gonna be our special team should be strong, guys. Arguably the best field goal kicker in the league, and these punters. Cody says which punter throws the ball better? Waitman threw a dime to Trice last year in the Broncos game.
That's right.
That's a good question. I don't know who. RB says the Ravens defense got boosted by getting 6 games against the AFC North and awful offenses. And then Corey says, imagine being a fan of another team saying I'd rather suck forever than being average for 20 years. Fucking tards. Yeah, no 2 ways about that. Mike, one last topic I do have here was what Ben had to say about our running game. Mike, he says that he's concerned about this team because this team doesn't have a legit stud at running back, Mike. Now, I'm not going to beat the drum because I'm going to get resistance and argument, but I got to be honest with you. I am very anxious to see if Caleb Johnson wows me at any on any level tomorrow night when he has the ball in his hand. And I'm talking about returning kicks. I'm talking about running the ball in between the tackles. I'm talking about turning the ball to the outside. I'm talking about maybe blocking, maybe catching a pass. Mike, I have to see something out of Caleb Johnson tomorrow night or I'm going to lose my mind.
So I don't know what game you watched because I came away with a different.
The one where he looked like he was running in molasses. The one where he looked like he was running in sand.
He was picking up, finding the crease in the line and hitting the hole. And
you're talking about later in the game when he was playing 4 stringers. And I know exactly when you're talking about it. And I certainly wouldn't put that to his credit because, again, if you look at him earlier in the game when he was running against people that were second stringers, it didn't look that good at all, Mike. It was backfield tackle. He tried to go to the outside, got tackled. Late in the game, he did break a couple runs. I happily admit to that. But again, if you watch in full context, it was not a good game for him. Yes, 50 yards sounds like a lot, but again, coming against guys that's going to be playing XFL in next spring, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, 6 more yards in that game, and he does that for 18 weeks. That's 1,000 yards, baby.
Hey, Big Ben says I'm just agreeing with the Hall of Fame quarterback here, Mike. Don't hold me. Don't kill me here. Big Ben says we don't have a legit stud in the backfield. Yeah. And you know what? Until one of these 2 guys can be the guy that could get 1,000 yards, Mike. I think that's probably it seems accurate so far. Again, I've seen nothing that points otherwise.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. That's all we can do. You're
That's
right.
all we can do is we can just wait. Hey, Jamar Chase couldn't catch a pass his first preseason, and look at him.
But that's
now.
Jamar Chase. I don't know.
First rounder, and Caleb Johnson's a third rounder. Manage expectations.
And nobody really wasn't beating down the door to get Caleb Johnson. There was 31 teams would have probably taken Jamar Chase had given the opportunity.
Right.
But again, different argument, different day. I'm just telling you what the Hall of Fame quarterback said, Mike, because he knows kind of what he's talking about in football.
Hey, he also said Kendrick Green would be a really good center in the NFL.
Hey, Kendrick Green ain't bad where he's at now. He's again, some players just don't play well in Pittsburgh, and I don't
getting blown up, and I'm just busting your balls.
I know you are.
I know. I'm in a good mood, so I got to bust your balls.
Mark Derpy's here. He said he's here for the Scarlet content. Tortilla says whatever punter can get past Broderick Jones gets a roster spot. Fuck, they both got past him. Oh, that's the other comment that I do want to make here, guys. Where is my comment about Broderick Jones? Here it is, guys. You ready for this? I grab a seat, Derpy. Don't sit down. Listen to this. You ready? This is something that Arthur Smith said early in the week yesterday. He says this: Broderick Jones feels. Let me say this one more time. This is from Arthur Smith. He says Broderick Jones feels like he's a natural left tackle. I'll wait for everybody to stop laughing. Arthur's. I see. I don't know what the worst part of this comment is. The fact that he says that he feels like Broderick Jones is a natural left tackle, which again I think some would argue. And on the other hand, he's a left tackle. So if he looks like anything, I mean, he shouldn't look like a place kicker. There's just so many things wrong with this comment. And if he actually believes this, what state are we in if our offensive coordinator that is saying that this guy that's really having, Mike, he's having issues, he doesn't know what side of the line he plays on. He's having a lot of problems. We'll just put it that way. Yes, he's being nice. Yes, he's his coach. Yes, he has to say good things about him, Mike. But do you believe that he's a natural left tackle? Do you have that feeling?
Okay,
Jonathan Ogden is a natural left tackle.
Thank you. I hate when people say, "Oh, he's a natural left tackle." Jonathan Ogden, natural left tackle. Joe Thomas, natural left tackle. To quote the great Steeler great Tun Jokin, natural left tackle. That's just what hands you put in the dirt first. That doesn't mean your natural left tackles are great blindside pass protectors. Your natural right tackles are your fucking road graders who are okay at pass blocking. That's what that old school of natural left and right. Now you can say, hey, he's more comfortable playing on the left side because that's where he's always played. His body mechanics, he's used to it. Okay, but a natural left tackle to me is someone who is a dominant pass blocker. You don't have to fucking.
Mike, is there anything about this guy that you've seen so far that you would consider him a natural backside tackle?
In the context of a Jonathan Ogden type, no. In the context of I'm comfortable playing on the left side because that's always where I played, yes. Just because he's more comfortable doing things on the left side. But, we see players all the time in the NFL go from tackle to guard in the NFL and not miss a beat. We've seen guards go to center, centers go to guard, not miss a beat. So to act like the Steelers did him dirty by having him flip sides.
Look at the dog. Look at the dog. Look at Logan Lee. He makes the jump from defense, comes over to long snapper in the game when they needed him in a pinch. Defensive line to long snapper. There's a skill that you need to be a long snapper. You can't just get in there with guys, crashing you in. You got to get the ball to where it needs to be, Mike. So again, that's a natural football player that could get it done. He could go to any position. And then there's Broderick Jones, Mike. I don't know if he's natural anything. He struggled so much that the simplest tasks as a tackle, Mike, it just seems like he's having so many problems. I mean, we're all hoping and praying that we just wake up on Sunday morning in 17 days and things just go well and he knows what he's doing and we just, he can play football. But the fact of the matter is we don't know that, Mike. That left tackle could so be a problem for us this year. And if it is a problem with this year, Mike, does this guy make it to the next contract?
No. If he struggles this year, he's not getting that fifth-year option. And This whole left tackle, right tackle, where's your natural position is going to be put to a major test this year because I'm going to watch his performance. I'm going to watch Joe Alt, who's going from left tackle to right tackle in San Diego, who, Joe Alt's a natural left tackle. That's the only spot he's ever played. Now he's going to the right side. If he doesn't struggle, okay, then that should be the litmus test of that natural. Oh, you're a natural at this position. That's moot. Like Tunshelkin said, it's how comfortable, what hand you put down when you get into your 3-point stance. That's your
I think it's more than that, but I understand the point, Mike.
Yeah.
You know what? Again, guys, Corey is on the board. I'm sorry, Cody's on the board. He's a natural, laughing it up. I mean, it's laughable. That's the only reason I brought this topic up, Mike. Is Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator? We're putting all our faith in this guy. He believes.
But I tell you what, though, he has looked better. His footwork has looked better. Maybe I think
there's no other way to go. Can you go any more in the other direction?
I mean, they played Dan Moore at right tackle a couple snaps, and he looked a whole hell of a lot worse at right tackle than left tackle. So, some of these guys, they're like Derek Zoolander. He couldn't turn one way. These guys can only block one way. They're not ambi blockers.
Let's jump on the board. Mike Cody says, I want to see Nichols return. You know what? I'm impressed by Nichols, man. I'd like to see some more of him. I'd like to see him a little bit earlier in the game, see what he could do against starting players. But again, Carolina is not starting anybody. But I do like that Nichols, man. He was a beast. Cody says that Jalen Warren is a stud, has been our best running back for years now. I mean, that's going to have to be the case. He is going to have to be the guy, obviously the main carrier. And the rookie Caleb is going to have to be what Warren was to Najee. Just got to, everybody just got to kind of assume their new roles, and we got to hope that works. Again, guys, very little as far as the running game goes this far in the preseason. The second half of last week's game, I thought, is when we did the most running through the preseason to this point. And again, when you're down that far against competition, who knows what you really have. So again, it's going to be nice to see the running game early this week, Mike, to see if we can move the ball. But again, Carolina, you're not even playing starters either. So I kind of regret the fact that we didn't get those looks early on in the preseason, Mike. Talking about running backs here, Coasterholic says Warren and Gainwell are good secondary backs, but you need a star running back you could lean on. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I mean, somebody's got to step up and be the guy. And we'll see. Corey says, get back to me when he feels like a natural long snapper. Again, Logan Lee, I thought he did well, man. Again, being called out of nowhere like that, you didn't know that you didn't know that Kunitz was going to break his sternum. Or Kuntz, I'm sorry, Kuntz. Kunitz was the hockey player.
Yeah, Chris Kuntz, goddamn playoff hero.
So that is that. Let's move on to the next here. Mike Cody says he's a natural left tackle. He's laughing at that. He played left tackle his whole life.
He had more snaps at right tackle in the pros than he did in the college combined. So he's a right tackle.
Coasterholics is a natural left tackle for the XFL. And he would probably still struggle. I don't know. Kenneth says, is it just me? Or does Holcomb look better than Peyton? Ooh. You know what? Holcomb does look damn good.
He does.
I'm just struggling to think to believe he's going to stay healthy. I haven't seen this guy stay healthy in years. So I don't know. That's just kind of my take. I don't think that Cole Holcomb makes it through the entire season, but if he does look really good.
Yeah.
And I think that Peyton, his only problem is like he's slightly undersized.
Yeah.
That's my only problem with Peyton. I mean, the strength that Cole Holcomb brings, I think, is probably what Peyton Wilson is lacking because of size.
Yeah,
that's kind of the way I see it. But again, I like Peyton Wilson more just because the other guy is so injury prone.
Yeah, like if Holcomb wasn't injury prone, oh god, that would be a nice 1-2-3 at the middle backer position right there. I can see Holcomb like flying in and is running into an offensive lineman the way we saw Landon Roberts do to allow someone else to make a play.
Yeah.
I see Peyton Wilson having to scrape off that block or try to run under the block to make the play, not eat up the guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how all the top three inside backers work, but I love what I've seen from Cole Holcomb so far.
Mark Malone says, I'm holding out hope for Brabustrous. Of course, Broderick Jones. That name, you know what? I catch myself saying that sometime off the air, Mike. Busters, yeah. I think of Mark Malone. Mark Malone also says, I guarantee you Caleb Johnson will look different in the regular season. I hope, that's all we can do. And then he follows that up by saying, don't even have to huff the paint.
Huff the paint to be sure, please. We want accurate predictions.
Robustrous. I like that. I do. I catch myself saying that. I mean, just in small talk with friends or whatever.
Yeah. I always call him Bro Joe.
Bro Joe?
Or Bro good. Derek. I call him Bro Derek a lot.
You know what, Corey? I agree. Middle linebacker, defensive tackle, depth should be worrying. I think the whole defense should be worrying people. I really do. Again, if this defense comes out and plays to their capabilities, and every player gets themselves up for every game this year, I think this defense is scary. And maybe the offense is just good enough to go hand in hand with how good the defense really is. Like, again, you don't want the defense carrying the team all year. You see how that plays out in January when a defense is exhausted. Yeah. And everybody else steps it up a notch. So the offense, it's going to be interesting, guys. We're still waiting to hear on Gabe Davis. We don't know what's going on yet. We could still be adding to the roster, guys. But again, tomorrow, the last preseason game of the year against Carolina. That is tomorrow. Mike, a couple of things I do want to say here about the game last week that Logan Lee did come in and do some snapping for on Saul's kick. Ben Saul's kick that he did miss. Mike, apparently he kicked the laces. And what did Ray Finkel say?
Laces out, Marino.
Laces out, Marino. Apparently, on the snap, he kicked the laces. Not making an excuse, just simply saying that's what happened. And he did miss that field goal. And again, like the blunders in the special teams is what cost the Steelers the preseason game. That doesn't matter. But again, I thought the team offensive players and defensive players wise looked good for the most part in that particular game, Mike. But the special teams certainly is what did it. But again, Logan Lee, what more can you say about this guy? Comes in, he's a defensive lineman. He comes in and replaces your long snapper in all facets of the game, Mike, on field goals, on extra points. So again, dog. He's a dog.
Remember when we had to have James Harrison long snap for us?
Oh, yeah.
It was just snapping all over the place.
He
over the punter's head.
It was up in the third row of seating. It was crazy, man. So Logan Lee really did a great job, Mike, for when he did step in this past week. So we will see what goes on with that. And again, the injury to Kuntz not as bad as initially thought. So that's a good sign. Kenneth says, talking about studs, look no further than Jalen Warren, 1,200. I hope you're right, dude. I really hope you're right. And I think that he can do it. I mean, everything that I've seen, the guy runs like a monster. And, you give him that little bit of a spell, a little bit of a break throughout the course of the game because you do have another running back and they could do the same way they've done with Warren and Najee. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be a really good season for Jalen Warren. He's like a little Hines Ward, man. He's like he always gets up with that smile on his face. He's just he's tough. He's a tough guy.
Just for me, Jalen Warren, I get the concern with the fumbles. With Najee, like the one thing, like I was never worried about with Najee, and I was not a big Najee guy. I knew he would secure the ball. Yeah.
He was always available.
Yeah.
Didn't miss a lot of games. He had good ball security. There was a lot. Again, I get what people are saying.
I just wanted more out of a number one overall pick. You know what I mean?
But everybody wants that from their Mike. And there's literally again, like quarterbacks, there's about 3 guys in the league that have what it is that everybody wants to see in their number one running back. And the fact of the matter is, most guys don't have that. It's is he good enough? Is he available? Does he not turn the ball over? Yeah. Does he get 1,000? So I mean, those were good things. Again, we kind of wished it away. Let's hope that this round goes better. That's the best we could hope for, Mike. Just a couple things here, Mike, about the Pitt football team. The AP announced its all-time All-American team. Pitt, Mike, they led the way with 3 players. 3 players on the AP all-time All-American college football team. 3 players were named, Mike, and actually a 4th. Tony Dorsett was a 2nd team. So, again, leading the way, Pitt, Penn State, had 0 players.
That's okay.
Also, Mike,
we got to give you guys something.
All right, well, let me give you the. See, I'm just describing to you how you're more like Pitt than Penn State people think they are.
I know, right? I know.
Penn State and Pitt belong playing one another.
Oh, yes,
Penn State just doesn't admit it. The Steelers, All right, so get the seasons with an appearance at number 1 in the AP poll, Mike, in the history of college. Penn State seven times, they're 14th overall. Pitt 6 times, they're 16th overall. So again, Penn State and Pitt belong together.
Yes, we do.
Penn State will never admit it.
No,
They like saying, "Oh, we're in this tough conference with these tough teams," but the fact is they don't beat those tough teams. They belong in a conference with Pitt.
Yeah.
These teams should be battling it out year to year. It would be an amazing rivalry, possibly one of the biggest rivalries in college football. But
it's trickle down. Like we look down our noses at you. You guys look your noses down at West Virginia, and West Virginia picks their nose.
Well, we look down at Yins too. Like we don't look. Pitt fans don't look at Penn State like they're anything great. That's the thing. I think that we think that we should be playing, and I think most people do as well. But Penn State, they play politics a lot.
But I just love like needling Pitt fans. Not you, because I know you're in on the joke with it.
Yeah.
But like hardcore Pitt fans, I fucking love needling. It's just so much fun. They're easy to rile up. But who were the Pitt players, if you don't mind me asking? Do you have the
Larry Fitzgerald, Bill Fralick, and the other guy was a defensive end, Hugh Green, I think.
Okay.
And Tony Dorsett made the second team, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah, I thought he would have been like first team. Like
right.
I was going to say Aaron Donald, but I remember like his Pitt career was like you can see he was going to be damn good in the pros, but not
Dan Marino, even in the backup.
Marino,
role.
yeah.
Grab a couple. You know what? Yeah, let me grab a couple of these messages here. Corey says, I think Warren runs into contact just to feel. He seems like he's that kind of guy, like Hines. The guy likes hitting. He likes being hit, and you know what? He'll get up and smile on your face, and I love that. I love that about a football player. And then Kenneth says, I do think Jones is more comfortable and even better on the left side. He still has a technique issue that is not being coached. He still leads with his helmet sometimes. Also, Mike, our other football team here in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the soccer team, of course, they plan on a $125 million expansion project at its Riverfront soccer venue, which is Highmark Stadium, where they play. Mike, $125 million expansion project.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and it can be interesting to see what they can do with that. Not just for the Hounds, but maybe concerts and shit down there. I was reading as well. They make more concerts going to there instead of the console or whatever the arena is now, and even Heinz Field, but using Highmark.
We're just gonna have concerts.
We're gonna get sheets.
Mike, and finally the Pirates. They finish up their series against the Blue Jays today. They're playing right now. It was a 12:35 start here in Pittsburgh. Mike, this is game 3 of 3. They'll be off tomorrow. Then they'll be hosting the Rockies for the weekend, Mike, the worst team in the league. So we will see how that turns out. The Pirates are 53-74 as we speak. And finally, Mike, the Savannah Bananas. We talked about this team. They are the baseball's Harlem Globetrotters. They are going to be in town here at the end of the month, Mike, with their traveling team that they play, the Texas Tailgaters. 2 games here at the end of the month on the 29th and the 30th of August. You could go check out the Savannah Bananas down at PNC Park.
Hell yeah, that's a good time. My boss, I think he's going to see them. It'll be like his second time, and he's a big baseball guy, and he's like, it's not real baseball, but it is fun and entertaining. As all
I love going to see the Harlem Globetrotters. I've
it's
seen
fun
them
and entertaining
multiple times in Pittsburgh to see them, and I think it would be a great experience seeing the Savannah Bananas as well. So I think what we're going to do, Mike, let's go ahead and jump into the website, and then we're going to get into the trivia of the day and then get ready to wrap things up. Mike, go ahead and tell us about the website.
The 2dumyinzers.com. Anyone new here, go check it out. Get all of our social media links over there. We got the Dumb Thoughts over there. We got the merch store over there, which has the new t-shirt design of It's Not About You. It's not always about your money, bro. Goddamn t-shirt. Hot off the presses. Check it out if you want to at the2dumyinzers.com.
All right. Go check it out, everybody. A lot of cool stuff over on the website. Mike does do a lot of work. Go check it out. www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. All right, guys. Question of the day is this. Mike, the Carolina Panthers in totality, the Carolina Panthers in total have played 17 playoff games in their league's existence. Mike Tomlin has coached 19 playoff games as the head coach of the Steelers. Mike, who has a better playoff record? Is it Mike Tomlin or is it the Carolina Panthers? Mike Tomlin's playoff record or the Carolina Panthers all-time playoff record? Which is better? I'll give you a minute to think about that. Take a moment. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day right here on YouTube. Question of the day. The Panthers played 17 playoff games in their team's history. Mike Tomlin has coached 19 playoff games for the Steelers as a head coach. Which one of these two has a better record? Tortilla on the board is saying Mike Tomlin, Mike, the Panthers all time, or Mike Tomlin in the playoffs in Pittsburgh?
I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers.
It just seems like it would be the right answer to this question, doesn't it?
It does too.
Like,
yeah,
why would it be Mike Tomlin if I'm asking it this way? That's
exactly.
The thought process, right?
Exactly.
I agree.
I know who has the Super Bowl though.
Well, they're 0 for 2.
We're 1 for 1, baby.
So I mean, not much better, but
hey, win is a win.
Once you look at the big picture, you'll understand. Again,
Yeah.
it all starts to come together.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, 17 games for the Carolina Panthers in the team's history in the playoffs. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin has coached 19 playoff games for the Steelers. Who has a better record? It is the Panthers, Mike. They are 9-8. 9-8 and 0-2 in the Super Bowl. 9-8 in their 17 playoff games. Mike Tomlin is 8-11, 3 games under 500, and 1-1 in the Super Bowl. Which again, Mike, I don't know if that looks as impressive when you are one team is 1 game over 500 and your team is 3 games under 500. But that's what it be, guys. The Carolina Panthers 9-8 all time in the playoffs, 0-2 in the Super Bowl. And Mike Tomlin 8-11 in the 19 games coached here in the playoffs, 1-1 in the Super Bowl. Or very early, Mike. I'd like to see him win a Super Bowl late in his career, so that could wipe all debate off the table, because you're always going to have debate, especially the way that things kind of went down through his tenure here. I'd like to see him win a Super Bowl, Mike, to kind of wipe that away, and everybody's that's going to say, Cowher's team early on didn't do anything since. Things just got progressively worse as time went on. Mike, I think in order for that to ever go away, Mike Tomlin is going to have to win another championship as a Steelers coach.
Yeah. Hey, man, this year he raises that record to 11-11, baby.
All right. I hope you're right. Everybody hopes you're right. Let's see, Kenneth says, I do think the Jones. Okay, we did get that one. Tortilla did pick Mike Tomlin. Corey says Mike Tomlin has 8, the Carolina 6. Okay, yeah. So that was it, guys. 9-8. The Panthers are 9-8 all time in the playoffs, and Mike Tomlin 8-11. So good show today, Mike. A lot of information, a lot of things going on, and we'll continue to keep up on everything, Mike, as the Cam. Let's see what's going on with him. But the preseason wraps up tomorrow night. We'll be here tomorrow to get ready for the game, Mike. Big preview show. But tomorrow wraps up preseason. Friday, it's going to be we're going to be talking about that last game, and then after that, it's the wait. We got a 2-week wait, a little over 2 weeks to get to that first game of the year, and it's going to be fun. But it's still going to be a wait anyway you slice it, guys. Tomorrow night, 7:00, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Carolina Panthers. It's here, it's on, baby. Mike, anything if we start to wrap the show up for today, man?
No, I got nothing, but I really have nothing. This was fun today, fellas.
Tortilla says everything in me knew it wasn't Tomlin, but my pride wouldn't let me change. I should coach the Steelers.
Hey, if you can get Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph to 500, you can coach Tortilla.
Hey, Phyllis still says, vanilla ping ponging you are.
I probably deserve that, Phil.
Cody says the Panthers have been around since the 90s. Tomlin started in 2006. Yeah, I mean, but Tomlin has more games, more playoff games coached, though. That's the thing. That's an argument. But, the guy that, again, it's still too close for comfort, in my opinion. Coasterholics, thank God, tomorrow wraps up preseason. I'm over it. Me too. I'm tired of all the preseason talk. I'm ready to talk real football, get ready to talk about things that matter. And we're going to get this roster cut down and start seeing all that kind of thing happen. I'm sorry, Phil is still in the NFL, little by little turning into the QFL.
I'm the commissioner.
He is the commissioner. Cody says Tomlin's accomplishments more with less. LOL. Oh wait, when the Panther. Who knows, man? Who knows? I think Tomlin's. He needs to win one. I think he needs to win one at some point here after those first couple years of being the head coach. That way there could be no argument ever that he did this with a Cowers play. I mean, the thing is, it's never going to be a clear-cut answer if he doesn't win that championship late, in my opinion. Win the championship, man. That's all. Let's not fight the excuses. Let's win the championship. That's the answer.
Yeah, see, he fucked up. He should have been with a team, didn't win, then go to a team and win, and then you're a winner. You're the one who got the team over the hump. He followed a guy who won a Super Bowl and then won in quick fashion after that.
Right.
That's where
you're always going to have debate.
That's where he fucked up.
So instead, like I said, let's just win the Super Bowl. Get it, and then we could always have this debate. Was this guy better? Oh, this guy won 2 Super Bowls, and you can't say, well, he won it with this guy's team. Blah 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 blah. You know the argument that you're going to get for the rest of eternity if Tomlin doesn't win a championship.
Don't worry. If he wins one, I'll find a way to turn it against Mike T.
Well, you always.
I'll take the opposite.
No,
the opposite.
You've always been for him. Like,
no, I know, and that would be the bit. I would go against him.
No bit. That's
you're
not
no
a good
fun.
bit.
You're no fun.
That's a bad bit.
My hypocrisy knows no bounds.
It knows no bounds.
We know.
Like, my thing is this: Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park was at practice yesterday. They showed up at apparently they're in town here doing a show. Lincoln Park. The group, the band, Mike, they did show up at Pittsburgh Steelers practice yesterday to say what's up to the team and check things out. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I saw that. That was nice.
What else do we got here, Mike? Again, Steelers tomorrow at Panthers, 7:00. Tomorrow we'll be back at our normal time to do it all over again and get ready for that last preseason game of the year. Then it's all Jets, baby. After tomorrow, it's going to be all Jets, getting ready for Justin Fields and the Jets. I do want to say thank you, everybody, for hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. You guys are always amazing. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show, and everybody at home, whether you're in the car, whether you're at the gym, with your earbuds in, or just at home watching on your TV. Thank you, too. Grab a couple more messages here before we go. Kenneth says, Najee fumble against the Eagles. Warren might have 3 fumbles max since he's been here. Yeah, I mean, these are things that we'll see this year.
Warren has 7 fumbles in his career.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, because that was always my big concern with him because he fumbled a lot. And I know Najee had some, but I don't think he has that many in his career.
Yeah. Well, it's got to come together. They got to get it together again, guys. Hey, this is probably one of the better chances that a Mike Tomlin coach team has a chance. What's that?
I said Najee has 5, so yeah, not that far off. It just seems like Najee was more secure with it for some reason.
Oh, because he was.
Yeah, 5's less than 7.
So there you go. But I forgot what I was talking about. What was I saying? What was I saying before you rudely cut me off?
I don't know. I've been doing that all day. I'm sorry. I have been. It's been bad today.
I totally drawn a blank. But if you haven't had a chance, guys, go check out our social media sites. We are all over social media. We're at Facebook. We are at Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, Threads, even TikTok. Stop by, hit the follow button. Keep up with the Two Dumb Yinzers on an everyday basis. And if you haven't had a chance yet today, hit the like, sub, and share buttons down below. It helps us out greatly. We appreciate that. Mike, anything else before we wrap it up?
I got nothing. Have a good day, everyone. This was fun.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody. Once again, guys, let's tomorrow we're gonna get excited, get ready for starters. Everybody but 4 guys, dude. It's Mike, that's exciting. We haven't had a chance to really get a look at starters collectively. This is gonna give us that chance again. Only missing TJ, only missing Cam, only missing Aaron, and only missing DK. 2 and 2 on each side of the ball. I'm super excited about seeing the starters get out there tomorrow, and I'm kind of even excited about seeing them not playing against starters. Maybe it gives us a little bit more of a rush, a little bit more confidence just to see the guys going out there and making some big plays, providing that be the case, Mike. So exciting, getting ready for this last game. And as somebody said on the board, I'm glad when it's going to be over because then it'll be time that counts. Mike will be getting ready for the Jets. So join us tomorrow at our regular time. We'll be back to do it all over again then. Mike, one last time, speak now or forever hold your peace, sir. All right, everybody. You too, Tortilla. Thank you so much to everybody. We appreciate you guys. We really do. I hope everybody has a great, safe hump day. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk to everybody then. For Mike in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, for myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.